The traditional MSP model of L1, 2, 3, really it's inefficient.
Yeah.
A complex issue that comes in from a customer can easily sit with an L1 for 30 minutes before they even discover that they're not able to resolve the issue, and then they move to escalate. And then that issue can sit with an L2 and sit for another 30 minutes and waiting to be picked up and then potentially resolved. And then that can't get resolved. It goes to an L3, right? And so you have this L1, 2, 3, all this time to waiting. And eventually the L3, that was the person that can resolve it. And, you're hour and a half or 2 hours into this whole process and the customer's not getting the result that they're looking for. So what we've done is introduce intelligent routing. And so we're analyzing what I call the DNA of a ticket. So keywords, asset class, ticket information, all those type of things, and then use data to identify the best person to resolve the issue at the right time. So we're optimizing our engineer resource allocation for the best client experience. So factors like, I can't talk about all of them, but like things like competency and availability, specializations, those type of things. We can route a ticket to ensure that it's assigned to the best qualified engineer immediately, which ultimately reduces MTTR and cuts down on escalations.
But what you're saying, right, is it was always L1, then 2, then 3. And now, based on this analysis and the DNA of the ticket routing, you may go straight to L3.
100%. And it's counterintuitive to our thoughts, because if I'm an MSP owner, like, it's an expensive resource, I can't have all my tickets go there. You're
Right.
spending more money because that resource was the person that's going to resolve it anyways. Because you're spending the L1 time, you're spending the L2 time, and then you get to the L3. If you really think about this process, and sometimes it doesn't even go to L3, it can be an L2. But if you start thinking about getting the ticket to the right person at the right time with the right skill, with everything you need, there's a lot of DNA, a lot of work. This is like a year's worth of work. So it's not for the faint of heart either. But it's an interesting thing because not only have you reduced MTTR, which we have by 60%, and we flipped the first person resolution. So first contact resolution is one thing. You get the first time, whatever. But the first person, so I mean the first person that you actually called or the ticket's running, that's usually at about 30, 35% in the MSP industry. We're at 70 to 80%. We flipped it over on its head to where it needs to be. It's introduced a different perspective on how we service clients.